Hello, hello. Welcome to our class on current events. I will wait until we have some participants. Hello, hello. Hi, Victor.
Hi, Jeremy.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm great. Thank you for asking. And you?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, doing well. Where are you from?
I'm from Ukraine.
Ah, from the Ukraine. Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Do you know this country?
I've never been there, but I know where it's at.
Yes. It's pretty familiar now because we
Yeah,
have the whole situation. Uh,
yeah. How is the situation right now from the point of view of the Ukrainians?
mm, Actually, I don't know. Maybe you know about situation in my country better than me because um I think we have a lot of information and uh, I'm not sure that this information is true, and
Ah.
it's difficult to separate true stuff from lie. And I mean, it's propaganda, a lot of propaganda.
Yeah, I was thinking of the same word. I can understand that. All governments use propaganda, and right now it's a difficult situation. Hmm.
Yes, we have a lot of propaganda from both sides of this conflict, not from our government, but also we have uh, propaganda from another sources.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me just say hello. Hello, Elena.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Mhm. Fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. 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 Is it Elena or is it the whole thing your name?
No, no, it's Selena.
Okay. I wasn't sure about the ending. Vice.
Yeah, no, Bise, I don't know how to change it. Bise is because of my surname,
Ah, okay.
but I'm Elena.
Very good. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
From Spain. I have a lot of
Yes.
Spanish participants in our class lately. That's good.
Yes, yes, we usually are two or three
Hmm.
a lot of times.
So far, I think just this week I've met. Well, I already know Rafa from before. I used to see Rafa in a different company I used to teach for. But I've met people from Barcelona, from Valencia, from let's see where else, Madrid, all over Spain. So, how about yourself? Where are you from? What part?
I'm from Burgos. It's in the north of Madrid. Not in the north of Spain, but in the north of Madrid, in the
North of
center.
Madrid. Okay, Madrid's in the middle,
Yes,
in the center.
so in the center.
Okay. And why are you learning English? Or why are you improving your English? You obviously already speak English.
Well, not too good, I'm afraid. Well, I'm a teacher. Um, well, I like English. I have always liked it. But well, I'm a teacher, and in the future, perhaps I may um, mm, well, not have, but do I don't know kind of verb, some bilingual classes
Oh.
um, in the future. Not now because my English is not so good for that. But well, in my school, it's a high school. There's a bilingual program, and perhaps in the future I would join it
Okay.
with other teachers.
So what do you teach currently?
Philosophy,
Philosophy. Ooh.
yes.
You should come to my one of my classes next week on Proverbs.
Ah, okay.
We discussed the
I'll try.
a lot of philosophy when we do proverbs.
Yes,
I'm
for
going
sure.
I'm going to do a class once a week, maybe at least maybe once a week only, once a week, where we discuss popular English proverbs, and I ask the students to give me their opinion if they agree or disagree, and also if they have a similar proverb in their own language. Kind of an interesting topic, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yes, for sure.
Philosophy. Okay. Victor, so I was going to ask you, what part of the Ukraine do you live in?
I live in the middle of Ukraine, in the capital of Ukraine, in Kiev.
Kiev. Okay. Um, I guess that's not far away, but you're not right up against the trouble area, right?
The trouble area is pretty far from my place, from my city, but uh, it's also a little bit scared.
Hmm.
Yes, I feel a little bit scared.
Yeah.
It's like I feel discomfortable, uncomfortable,
Hmm.
something uncomfortable. Yes, but in on the street, on the um, uh, on my job, it looks like everything is all right, and situation is pretty relaxed, and uh, and if you analyze situation according our city, it seems like everything is all right.
Hmm.
Yes,
Interesting.
I can. But when you turn on your TV set, I mean television, you I understand that we have a lot of troubles on the
Hmm.
east of our country. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and currently, that one area, that the eastern part, I haven't been. I apologize. I have not been paying attention the last 3 or 4 weeks. Um, i- are the Russians still occupying the one region?
Mm, Actually, I'm not sure about this information because, as I mentioned before, maybe you know about situation in my country better than me because we have a lot of propaganda from another side, and it's difficult to separate true information from not true information. I
Mm.
don't know. I can't say. I can't say it exactly because I don't know actually what happened them in that city,
Hmm.
in
Okay.
that side of our country. Yes,
Hmm.
I don't know.
I guess I'll have to check the news and see what I can find out
Yes.
from the internet. Hmm.
Uh, I suggest you watched any of sources and according of the sources make your opinion, not
Mm-hmm.
one sources. You uh, use it's better if you see CNN and I don't know another source of this information, and maybe according to this source you make your opinion, but not only one, not Russian source, not Ukrainian source,
Mm-hmm.
not I don't know, maybe Russian, Ukrainian, but another source else you should watch if you want to make your true opinion.
Yeah, that's always a good idea is to check multiple sources.
But when I see when I watch, for example, Russian channel, um, I think that our country is not right. But when I see my channel from my country, I think that Russia is did something wrong, and I don't know.
Hmm.
Yes, because there are a lot of it also information war now going.
Yes, an information war. Okay. Um, I'm going to ask you guys, and also I'm going to type this. We have Jose watching the class. He's not in the class, but he's watching. What terms do we use in English to describe it when the news is reported um, mm, in a non-neutral way? Can you guys think of any words that we use? You used one earlier, Victor.
Yes.
You used the word propaganda. What is propaganda to you? Either one of you guys. What Elena, what is propaganda?
Uh,
Sorry,
Propaganda.
I think I misspelled the word. My mistake. That should be an
Yes.
A. Should be
Don't worry. Yes. Pro
propaganda.
it's an Spanish word. I'm surprised because propaganda is perfectly Spanish. Well, propaganda um, is a biased way to put the news, to put things. mm, um, when you perhaps exaggerate some aspects of the issue and don't talk about other important things in that issue.
Mm-hmm.
So propaganda wants to um, in, influence you to act in a certain way. Not just give you information, but make you act in a way and not in another way.
Okay. Good. Yeah, those are some good. So you use the word bias, exaggerated, reporting the news in an exaggerated way, and the motive is very important in order to influence you to act or believe something. Those are yeah, that's part of propaganda. Um, good, good. Yeah, actually, now that you said it, propaganda, I wonder if it comes from Latin. Yeah, it comes from Latin. That's why you have it in Spanish.
Yes.
Probably have it in French and Italian as well. Um, okay, good, good. So even in America, uh, it's well known that depending on which news station you watch, you may have a bias, one way or the other. We have conservative news and we have liberal news. So you sometimes have to watch more than one station, depending on what issue is being discussed. All right. Well, let's read our article. Let me give you guys a link to the article here. Um, you may have already found the article in the class description. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But what I will do is post it into the Verbling chat. Are you guys? Oh, sorry. There we go. There's a video in this article, but I would say go ahead and don't watch the video. We'll just read the article. You guys can watch the video later. Hello, Ken. Ken, you always sneak into class.
Yeah. So, yes. Hello. How are you? I just come.
What's this picture on your avatar?
It's a Paul McCartney picture I took last November.
Ah, okay. It's kind of blurry.
Yeah, because it's a I kind of cut it off his face part
Mm-hmm.
only,
Okay.
so it's kind of a bit unclear.
Okay. Because it was blurry, I thought maybe it was a painting, or it looks very it looks
Yeah,
very stylized.
original picture, yeah, it's not so bad. Yeah, I enlarged the image, so the picture quality turned to be bad.
No problem. Jose says in Portuguese you have the same word, huh? Okay, good. Do you guys have the article open? Is anyone confused, or are we ready?
Yes,
Good.
I have opened it.
Okay.
Okay, I got the article.
Yeah, let's read it and discuss it. I think this well, it's not in a good situation, but it's a current event and it's good to know about it. So the title of the article is "Here's What It Will Take to Contain the Worst Ebola Outbreak in History." Does anybody not know what Ebola is? You familiar with Ebola?
No, I
Ah,
wanted to ask you.
Okay. Ebola is a viral disease that is very deadly. Primarily, it spreads in Africa. Um, I still believe, from what I have read, they still are not 100% sure the original reservoir, but it tends to show up um, when people go and they eat chimpanzee meat. Sometimes Africans eat what they call bush meat. Sometimes they will kill monkeys and eat them. And apparently, this virus survives somewhere in the wild. There's theories that maybe bats carry it, but once in a while, monkeys will end up dead, or even apes will end up dying from it. And the problem is once it gets into the human population, it doesn't spread easily, but when you catch it, it has one of the highest mortality rates of any disease. One strain kills about 60%. Another strain kills 90%. I think the article may even explain a little bit about it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and read it. So we can just take turns with the paragraphs. Let's underneath the picture of Sanjay Gupta. Ken, you want to read the first subheading and first paragraph?
okay, from the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Okay, the perfect storm analogy is often overused when it comes to disease outbreaks. All the elephants that you don't want to see coverage to make condition ripe for a bacteria, or, in this case, a virus, to rip through a population at lightning speed. Geography, society, culture, a potent virus, reluctant politicians, and weak healthcare system. But all those factors are contributing to history's largest ever Ebola outbreak, which the World Health Organization now calls a crisis. Since clearly spring, Ebola has spread to two additional countries, Syria, Leone, and Liberia, infecting 635 people and claiming nearly 400 lives.
Okay. Thank you. Um, let's go to the next paragraph. Elena, please.
Yes. Can you share your screen? Because it's easy to follow.
I'm sorry?
If you can share your screen with the article,
Oh,
because I have the article, but that way we don't have to change
okay.
windows.
All right. No problem. I can do that if you guys prefer. Let's see. Let me share this screen here. I have two monitors, so works for me. Okay. This
Yes,
paragraph
well,
right here.
um, well, the Ebola virus causes a nasty infection that triggers an inflammatory reaction so intense patients essentially drown in their own fluids as they bleed internally and externally. Victims' bodies are overtaken with a well-intentioned defensive system. Oh, I can see it.
Too
Run.
small?
Can you make it a little bigger?
Sure.
Sorry. Yes.
How's that?
Yes, better. Well, mm, okay. With a
Victor.
well-intentioned
Hmm.
defensive system run uh,
Amok.
amok. Anyone who comes into contact with infected fluids can also get infected. As of now, there are no treatments for Ebola. The only hope is for the body to remain strong enough to overcome the initial uh, onslaught from the virus and start to develop antibodies to fight it. A patient gets sick, they stop eating and drinking, becoming too weak to develop these critical antibodies. Left alone, 9 out of 10 infected people die. At treatment centers where doctors can provide supportive care with nutrients and hydration. No, hydration. Sorry,
Hydration.
hydrate, hydration.
Hmm.
That figure improves to 7 out of 10.
Okay. Victor, you want to read the next two paragraphs?
Yes. Uh, oh, uh, those aren't great odds. It's correct way. It's correct place.
Yes. Correct place.
Those aren't great arts and social and cultural practices in West America may be stacking the desk even further. Dr. Michael Dr. Michael Van Herp, um, physician and epidemiologist with Doctor Without Borders who traveled to Guinea when the outbreak began, says he has been confronted by hostile villagers who didn't uh, welcome the medical help. Continue?
Okay. Yeah, just let me just mention a couple words. So a physician, right? Dr. Michael Van Herp, a physician, and then in the end of the sentence there, it's he was confronted by hostile or hostile villagers.
Hostile,
Yeah.
hostile villagers.
Yeah. There's two pronunciations that are accepted in English: hostile or hostile. Okay.
Hostile.
You want to
Yes.
read the next paragraph too?
Yes. I have had aggressive people in front of me in the village. One herb says, as he tried to bring infected patients, uh,
Patience. Patience.
patients to treatment centers.
Mm-hmm.
Most villagers are denying the existence of Ebola. Can you remember me patience?
Uh-huh.
What does it mean? I forgot. But I know this word, but a little bit forgot.
Patients. A patient is the person receiving treatment. So
Oh, yeah.
the doctor administers medicine to the patient.
Okay.
Yeah. Ebola is the pronunciation. It's an African word, Ebola.
Ebola.
Okay, Ken, do you want to read the next paragraph, please?
That denial is fueled by a strong stigma against the disease. In other parts of Central Africa where smaller outbreaks occurred, survivors of Ebola returned to their village only to find their homes burned and their remaining family members os- ostracized for having been infected.
Ostracized.
Ostracized. What does this mean?
Ostracized means like excommunicated, like in other words, cut off or shunned. People avoided them.
Uh-huh. Kind
So
of They will get rid of the society of that village.
So if someone else in the family had Ebola, the rest of the family would be treated as if they had the disease as well. People would shun them or hide from them and not talk to them because everyone is afraid of getting the disease.
Mhm.
Okay, Elena, next paragraph, please. Let me move it up. There you go.
Mm. Such denial not only increases the risk that the close contact of those infected by Ebola will be affected, but it also creates the ideal situation for the virus to gain an ever broader foothold. A critical first step is containing any outbreak of infectious disease involves carefully tracing which people patients have been in contact with. Only then can scientists start to create barriers against the virus by keeping it contained to people known to have already been exposed. In Guinea, denial and stigma against Ebola means some patients who believe they are infected are fleeing to other villages or even crossing the border to another country.
Okay, good. Um, let me read a little bit since we lost Victor. Victor says he'll be back in a few minutes. The next paragraph says, if you have a guy who runs away to a village 20 kilometers away, then you need to start from scratch in that village to trace his contacts, says Van Herp. Making things worse is the fact that in the part of Western Africa where the outbreak is centered, the population is particularly mobile, often traveling to nearby Sierra Leone and Liberia in search of work. Okay, Ken?
Okay. We've been seeing kids who travel between 3 or 4 villages and between the countries before they are too sick and weak that they aren't able to work anymore, says Van Harp. In the meantime, they have contaminated 3 or 4 villages.
Okay, and go ahead, next one.
Okay, cultural practices mean that the potential for transmitting Ebola is also amplified if a respected elder is affected.
Mm-hmm. Elena?
Mm. If a guy like this falls sick, then more people try to cure him, says Van Herk. If he dies, more people are involved in the process of the funeral, in cleaning the dead body and preparing the body. We have seen that one patient can give disease to 15 or 20 other people.
Mm-hmm. Ken?
Van Harp plans to return to Guinea in July, but he says that so far there hasn't been much improvement in people's education and acceptance about Ebola, despite the rising number of deaths. The WHO has called an emergency meeting of 11 nations next week to discuss ways of containing the outbreak. Attending will be the Minister of Health from Uganda, where the government has made efforts to address the stigma associated with Ebola by creating a survivors network to educate and inform the public about the disease and hopefully reduce fear and misperceptions about the virus.
Okay, thank you very much for your help in reading there. Hello, is it Erin or Erin?
It's okay. Hello, everybody.
Nice to have you here. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Ah, from Mexico, okay. Um, as you can tell, we're reading an article here about a disease. We're reading an article about Ebola. I know you guys, I don't know if you were listening to the class, but you might miss a few of the points. Hang in there. uh, eh, hello, is it Poom?
Yes, it's Poom.
Poom, where are you from?
I'm from Thailand.
Thailand. I was gonna guess Southeast Asia because of your name. Which city do you live in?
Bangkok.
Bangkok. Oh, okay. Welcome, welcome. Um, let's discuss this article while it's still fresh in our minds. Elena, do you need me to leave the article up on screen, or can you comment from from your computer?
Yes, I can see it in my computer.
Okay. I
Don't
like to
worry.
I like to drop it so that I just like to have a eye contact with the audience here when possible. So according to this article, why is the disease Ebola spreading so much this time?
Mm, the article says it's like a perfect storm.
Mm-hmm.
That means that a lot of circumstances are getting together to create that awful situation.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Irin and Pum, if you guys want to bring up the article on your own computer, I posted the link. You can see it in the Verbling chat. It's a time.com article.
Yeah, thank you. I see.
Okay. If you want to open it, I know that you're a little behind because we already read it, but we're going to discuss the article, and I'm also going to point out some grammar, some new words, some adjectives, and some adverbs. We'll help you guys with the vocabulary here. Perfect storm, okay. And according to some of the other comments from these doctors, what are some problems in this part of Africa that contribute to the spread of this disease?
Um,
Because, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead,
no,
Ken.
go ahead.
Because the people are afraid of this disease, so people hide the fact Ebola happened that village, and the family member, even though the survivors returned, they try to hide from society and they move the village to village. So that phenomenon help virus spread
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
exactly.
different place and a lot of different persons.
Yeah, exactly. In most countries, if you have a serious disease, in Western countries, they would tell you you have to go get treatment, and you would not feel ashamed if you had I don't know, if you had cancer, you wouldn't hide, you would get treatment in most countries. But it's interesting. The article uses the word twice. It uses the word stigma because of the stigma of this disease. Have you heard this word before?
No.
Uh, yes. Again, we have the same word in Spanish. So it's
Ah,
easy for
okay.
me. It's a
What?
Greek word.
Uh-huh. It's a Greek word. What's the idea? What comes to your mind if we say that? Here, let me find the sentence that it comes from. There it is. This is the sentence that I'll paste it into the yeah, just to save you the trouble of finding it. One of the countries is called Guinea. It says denial and stigma against Ebola causes or means some patients who believe they're infected are fleeing to other villages. So what do you think that, based on the context, what do you think stigma might mean?
Kind of bad name?
Uh-huh.
Bad
Here's a synonym, prejudice.
prejudice. Okay.
Yeah. The exact definition of stigma, here's your exact definition from a dictionary. But it's, excuse me, it means an unfair belief against something. So It's kind of like when people first started getting AIDS, there was a lot of stigma against AIDS that people didn't want to tell people. At least in the United States, when AIDS first came out in the 80s, people used to hide it because it was considered a disease only of homosexuals or other groups, and so it was something not that you did not talk about. That's changed now, but that's stigma. Okay. Did you notice in the what happens when someone dies in this part of Africa and he is a very respected, well-known person? What is part of the funeral process that unfortunately contributes to spreading the disease? What happens? Go check not your last paragraph, but your second from the bottom paragraph. The doctor explains why one patient can give the disease to 15 or 20 other people.
Yes, may I?
Yeah, whoever anybody else have the article open or have the second to last paragraph besides Elena and Ken? Go ahead, Elena. You can explain it.
Okay, when some old person, respectful person dies, um, many relatives, many of her relatives, um, would help in or participate in his funeral. So, and they take care of the body, they clean
Mm-hmm.
clean it, and so on. So, um, and the relatives take contact with the virus, and it spreads.
Yeah,
Spreads.
that's it. So I read another article. The governments in these countries are basically banning traditional funeral practices, and they are telling people if someone dies of Ebola, you're not allowed to touch the body. You have to wait for the government health workers. But the people aren't listening because it's considered tradition. So, unfortunately, since this article came out 1 week ago, I checked this morning. It's been less than a week, and the figure is now uh, instead of 400 people dead, I think it's 470. And now there are 760 people infected. So yeah, the number is going up, up, up. Unfortunately, it's very, very scary disease. Here's a couple words from the article. What is in the very first paragraph? It talks about a potent virus. Let's work on vocabulary expansions. What do you think the word potent means, guys?
Potential, possible.
Not
No,
possible. But it connects to the word potential, but from a different reason. I'm glad that you saw the connection, potential.
Mhm.
The root word is the Latin word for power, poder, right? In like Spanish, poder.
Powerful.
Yes, a powerful virus. So if something has potential, it has the ability to cause problems, right? The ability to act. That's what the word potential comes from. It comes from potent. So, yeah, they're saying this is a very potent virus. This is one of the worst viruses ever discovered. Okay, good. Let's see, what else can we focus on here? Oh, there was a funny expression here which you don't see very often. In the second paragraph, 1, 2, it says here, I'll just put the part, the paragraph is explaining why Ebola kills people. The very first sentence, it triggers an inflammatory reaction. right? But then it uses, this is the last part of that sentence. I think this is the paragraph Elena read. Boom, do you want to read the part of what I just typed into the Verbling chat box? You want to read that for me?
Yes, teams' bodies are overtaken with a well-intentioned offensive system run amok.
Okay. So first of all, there's a couple things. We have compound adjectives in English where we hyphenate words, right? We take a word like intentioned, and we put the word well, and we put a dash, well-intentioned. So if we say, he is, I'll give you another way of using this word. Make sure I typed it right. Well-intentioned. My spell checker doesn't like it. Well-intentioned, yeah. Aaron, you want to read me that sentence that I just typed?
Sure. He is well intentioned, but sometimes makes rude comments.
What do you think that means if I'm talking about a guy and I say he is well-intentioned but sometimes makes rude comments?
I refer to some people who spread some ideas of him ideas for some kind of way of many people think is unpolite.
Okay. Let me alter my sentence a little bit. What if I change the end of the sentence to this? He is well-intentioned but sometimes makes hurtful comments without realizing it.
Realizing it is without is not true. Or?
No, realizing in English is different from Spanish. In English, realize means to darse cuenta.
Oh.
If you realize
Okay.
something, it means, oh, the light bulb.
He's not the Spanish.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were Spanish. Iran, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico, but we speak Spanish Mexico.
Okay.
We were conquered by
I
Spanish.
thought you told me you were from Mexico.
Yeah.
Your name is unusual, though. I haven't heard it before.
It's not my name. It's my tag in Gmail.
Ah, it's your tag. Okay.
The real name is really Spanish name. Jesus.
Yes. So someone who is well-intentioned, he has good intentions, right? His motives are good, but maybe he does things the wrong way.
Yeah, he
Well-intentioned.
tried to help by a comment, but he made mistake. Oh.
Yeah. Good. As we go back to our article, and it says the victims' bodies of Ebola are overtaken with a well-intentioned defensive system. In other words, talking about your body's immune system, right? It says you're a well-intentioned defensive system run amok. So the immune system, the intention is to do, what is the intention of your immune system?
Protect the body.
Yeah, protect the body. So good intentions, right? Well-intentioned. Unfortunately, this disease causes so much inflammation that the immune system actually kills the body. The immune system releases so much, not antibodies, but white blood cells and other things that it causes internal bleeding, inflammation, the fever, and yeah, I was reading about this nasty way to die. So the word run amok means running wild without control. Like the, what do you guys call it in Spain, where they run the bulls?
Run the balls? What is that?
Elena, what town is that where they run the bulls down the street?
I don't know now.
You don't know what I'm talking. I'm probably not explaining it well. You know when they let the bulls, los toros, corren por la calle, and
Corrida.
the people run with them.
Encierro?
I don't know what it's called. I don't know if there's a name for that. You know that
Okay.
that tradition?
It's another.
Anyway, run amok. I'm just looking for an example. Run amok means to run crazy or to run wild. Encierro.
Welcome to class on current events.
Uh-oh. Somebody has the Verbling window open. Adele, welcome to class. You have to shut the Verbling window down. Keep the Google Hangout open and shut the Verbling window off, so otherwise it will play the video back through. Let's try a grammar point. Conditionals. Let's try a conditional grammar point.
Well, part of the reason this has become the deadliest now Ebola outbreaks, most widespread, is the challenges of trying to take care of patients in so many different areas.
Adele.
About Ebola in the past.
Adele, you're gonna have to shut the window down, or mute the video that's playing. Yeah, thank you. It has an automatic play. So conditional, we have different conditionals, right? Let's do second conditional. What would you do if you traveled to Africa this month? Who wants to? Let's start with Victor. Can you make a sentence?
I will take a good insurance if I travel in Africa.
Okay. Let me point something out. The difference between first conditional and second conditional. You made a good sentence, but you made a sentence using the first conditional. You said, if I travel to Africa, I will take good insurance. Okay?
Yes.
We use first conditional like that for things that are strong possibilities, things that are very likely to happen. So for instance, if it rains, I will take my umbrella.
Ah, okay.
Okay? But if we're talking about situations that are fictional, we use a different conditional tense. Let me type your same sentence and I will change it, and I want you guys to tell me what's the difference. Does anyone know how I should change this sentence to make it into a second conditional statement?
Would and I traveled.
Who said that? Poom?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead. Say the whole sentence from start to finish.
I would take good insurance if I traveled to Africa.
Yes, very good. And you can do your sentence in either direction. In other words, there's always two components to a conditional statement, right? There's the if part and there's the would part. If we're talking second conditional. So compare the two sentences. They basically say the same thing, but the first one that Victor gave us, maybe someone is actually planning a trip. Someone says, yes, I plan to go to Africa in August. I have been saving my money, and it's very possible I will go next month. So if I travel to Africa, I will take good insurance. But in this case, since we're discussing imaginary situations, we say if I traveled to Africa, I would take good insurance. Let me give you another fictional. I'll just give you the beginning, and I want you guys to finish it. Hello, Adele. Is it Adele, or am I saying the name right?
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Am I saying your name correctly or no?
Yes, yes. It seems that like it's correctly.
Okay. Do you want to try making the
Because it's an Arabic name and we pronounce it Adil, but there
Adil?
is no the letter Adil in English, so you can call me Adil.
Adil. Okay. Thank you. Um, so I'm typing in the Verbling chat. If I found $1 million, would you like to finish the sentence for me?
Sorry, but
We're making up statements here. Oh, Ken.
Yes. If I found $1 million, I would save my money, save that money in my account at the beginning.
Okay. Elena, same sentence.
If I found $1 million, I would return it to his owner because I'm a very, very good person.
Okay, good. Very good. All right.
I'm not sure, but it's a sentence.
Roberto, go ahead, type one for us. Okay. How about this one? I'm gonna leave blanks in the sentence so you guys can tell me what the proper verb is. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you only the beginning. You guys have good imaginations. Boom.
Just
Superpowers.
uh, if I got superpowers, I would uh, kill all the bad politicians.
Very nice. Okay.
Uh, I would invite you in my country
Ah.
if you would got superpower.
If I got superpowers, yeah. If I got superpowers, what's another word we could use instead of got to fill in that
Had,
blank? Huh?
have, had.
Yeah, if I had superpowers. Notice that we use in the part that we're using the if, we use past tense, not the would part. If I had superpowers, I would fly around the earth. Something like that, right? So we use the
Yes, because it's verb. Yes.
so we use the past tense because it's fictional.
Okay. Yes.
And then we use would fly or would do. We use the would plus infinitive in the other part of the sentence, the conditional part. It's always two pieces to it. All right. Let me see if I can give you another conditional. Let me give you another scenario here. Yes. How about now? First conditional is for things that that we will do. For instance, how about tell me what's better here, first or second conditional? I'll give you guys the sentence. So I give you two blanks. Who wants to try that one?
Second.
Okay, fill them in for me. See what you come up with.
Jack would wash the car if he had time.
Okay. That could be the scenario if he's super busy and maybe someone's complaining. How come Jack doesn't help out? How come Jack doesn't? Yeah.
But we can use here and the first conditional.
Yes.
Jack will wash the car if he has time.
Yes. So you have a choice. It depends on the situation. Good.
Yeah.
So we have will and wash, or we have would. I'm sorry, I did it backwards. We have, yeah, Jack will wash the car if he has time, or we have would with had time. Yeah. So some of it just depends on the situation of what you're discussing. I'll give you one more situation. Okay. Now pay attention to the complete sentence here and see if you can come up with the proper, based on the whole conversation, see if you can come up with the right verbs to put there. What do you think, Elena? It's kind of a rude it's kind of rude, this statement, but it works anyway.
Yes, I think it may be the second conditional.
Okay.
Yes, in fact, it's a bit can sound a bit rude. If I wanted your help, I would ask it for it. Leave me alone.
That's it. Yep. That's right. Perfect. Wanted, would ask, or needed. You can also use needed. That's just personal choice. Yeah. So some of it depends on the context. Well, anyway, that's a little practice with conditionals. I hope you enjoyed the article on Ebola, current events. Thanks for the conversation. I gotta end this class and start the next one. My next class is starting right now, and I'm going to do role playing. So if you want to come join us over there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Bye.
Goodbye.
Nice meeting you. Bye-bye.